Shalom uvracha to everyone. I hope everyone is well here on this Thursday morning, Erev Parshat Vayishlah, as we enter the month of December. We continue to miss everybody, not be able to be together as a community, and it is wonderful to have the opportunity to share those moments when we can get together um, in person, that we're still able to get together in person for those who can make it to the minyanim, and also to see those who we only see on Zoom. And again, I want to encourage everybody to take advantage of all the Zoom opportunities that we have. Havdalah, Mariv and Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat. Be wonderful to see as many people as possible. Also Sunday morning, our Zoom tefillah followed by a short shiur. And of course, I want to encourage everyone, as you've seen all these wonderful programs that the board has put into motion for the next few weeks. I certainly want to encourage everyone to participate to the best of their ability. And again, let's continue to try to find ways to connect, even if we can't be together physically every day or every week in the same room. I also would like to encourage everyone. These are the weeks that we're getting the communal requests for many of our important communal institutions, whether it's the Sinai schools or Project Ezra, which help people in our community here in Bergen County, in our Jewish community, and in our observant Jewish community with many, many challenges, and help supplement the government assistance to families and individuals. Really, it's the time to respond generously on all levels to these requests during this period of time. This week is Parshat Vayishlah. We will begin to say V'tein talu matar livracha on Motzei Shabbat with the first Mariv of the weekday, of the new week. And Parshat Vayishlach is really, in a certain sense, the culmination of the Jacob cycle, in which Jacob is, so to speak, central. The great confrontation, reconciliation, meeting up with his brother Esav after more than 20 years of being on the run and living his life outside of his ancestral home, comes to a head here in this week's Parsha. Yaakov has his name changed in this week's Parsha from Yaakov to Yisrael, representing his full acceptance and endowment with the covenantal destiny. God changes his name just as he changed Abraham's name at Brit Milah. He blesses him with the special Birkat Avraham, El Shaddai, Yivarech Otcha, V'yifreh Otcha, that God should bless you and make you a great nation. And of course, this is the beginning, which will then continue into the Joseph and the brothers narrative. The Bible presents Yaakov here in a very important way. First of all, in a very human way, as he confronts Esav, where he hears that Esav is coming to him with 400 people. Clearly, at least Yaakov perceives it as Esav is going to come and settle the scores from all those hurts and all those slights and all the pain of 20 years ago, when Yaakov took the brachot, to use the language of Yitzchak, Ba'achicha b'mirma vayikach et birchotecha. He took it with chicanery. He took it with deception, and now he's coming back to take the bracha. And the text says in Perek Lamed Bet, Vayira Yaakov ma'od vayetzer lo. Yaakov was very afraid, vayetzer lo, and he was very concerned. And the Bible describes Yaakov saying to God, Hatzileni na miyad achi, save me from my brother, ki yarei anochi, because I am frightened. Pen yavo v'ikani al banim. I'm frightened about the future. And the Bible describes his fear in a scene, which is a classic scene of great trepidation on the cusp of meeting his brother the night before, in that liminal space, in the darkness before the dawn, in that place of great terror. Yaakov is alone. Vayelen sham balayla hahu vayikach min haba biyado. And Jacob is alone. And the text says, in this context explicitly, Vayivater Yaakov levado, and Jacob was left alone. Vayeavek ish imo aralot hashachar, and someone struggled with him that entire night. And there are different interpretations who this mysterious person is, the angel, who this mysterious person slash angel is. Does he represent Esav? Does it represent Yaakov's internal struggle with his conscience about what he had done all those years ago? And certainly one way to read it is clearly that Yaakov is struggling with the past, is struggling with what he did, and many Meforshim take it in that direction, that he wants to emerge. Yaakov, who, as many writers, Rav Gilad and Rabbi Jonathan Sachs and others, Yaakov, who for so many of his years had wanted to be Esav-like, who received with trickery the blessing of Esav, who wanted, felt, thought that that was his destiny, here confronts the reality that he doesn't want to be Esav, and that's not what's missing, but he's Yisrael. He's not Yaakov anymore. He's not a person who simply lives on trying to hold on to the akev of his brother, to hold on to the heel of his brother, that he shouldn't be about simply making it through the world, but that he can confront his own mistakes honestly, openly, directly. And it's interesting, one of the words that is used over and over again in this parsha here is the word panim. The text says, Va'amartem, you should say, Yaakov says, Gam hinei avdecha Yaakov acharinu ki amar, achapra panav bamincha olechet lefanai. I will face him. I will offer my kapara. I will offer my atonement before him. Ulai yisa panai. Maybe Esav will forgive me. No more behind the back. No more shtick. Direct. Panim el panim. And that's exactly what the text says in his confrontation with the nocturnal visitor. The Bible says, Vayomer, he says, bless me. Jacob wants a blessing, not a blessing done surreptitiously, not a blessing done with trickery, not a blessing which involves rupture and pain and terrible suffering of his parents, of his brother, of his family, of the future, but one that can be head on. And it says that Yaakov called this place, after he receives the blessing, Lo Yaakov ye'amer od shimcha kim Yisrael, ki sarita im Elohim ve'im anashim v'tuchal, because you fought with God and with man, you confronted your demons, you confronted the past, you looked square in the face, and you had courage to recognize your mistakes, you had courage to change, and you had courage to confront honestly and move forward. And that's painful. You emerge limping. There are psychological scars. There may be physical scars when you confront truth, but you have to do it. And the Bible says, Vayikra Shem HaMakom Peniel, Ki Ra'iti Elohim Panim El Panim. I saw God face to face. No more indirection, no more through his mother, no more through making believe that you're someone else. And when he meets him the next day, he meets Esav the next day, they hug, they cry. And the Bible says, Vayomer Yaakov, Al naim na matzati chem minecha v'lakachta minchati miyadi, ki al kein ra'iti panecha, kirot pnei Elokim v'atirtzeni. Seeing your face is like seeing the face of God. Last night I saw the face of God and I confronted, I didn't run away. I stood there alone with trepidation, with fear, but I confronted and I worked and I felt pain and I emerged limping. There are costs, but I emerged and the dawn broke. I didn't run away ultimately. I stayed and confronted my pain, confronted my past, and I see you face to face. No more akev, no more from the heel, from the back. But I confront, and at this point, Yaakov is able to emerge with all the pain. The text says in Pasuk Yirchet, Vayavo Yaakov Shalem Yirshchem. There's a certain wholeness when you understand yourself, you understand what you went through, you understand your pain, you confront it, and you move on to reach your own full potential. And it's at that point in Perek Lamed Hey where God himself comes and changes his name. Return to the place where I had seen you and come. Vayera Elohim el Yaakov od befaro bipadan aram vayivarech oto. He receives a second blessing. Not only the blessing of the nocturnal angel, the blessing, but the direct blessing of God. Vayomer Elohim shimcha Yaakov lo yikarei shimcha od Yaakov ki Yisrael yishmecha. Vayomer lo Elohim ani el Shaddai prei urvei goy kahal goyim yimemeko melachim mechalatzecha yetzei. You receive the blessing of Pru Urvu. You receive the blessing of Abraham. And it's at this point that Yaakov's life, on a certain level, has reached its apex. And of course, all of us confront very difficult situations in our life. Sometimes we try to run away from them. Sometimes we recognize great mistakes we've made in the past, and it's very hard. We're alone, and in our aloneness, we have to confront the past. We have to confront the mistakes. Thank God we also live in a world where it's okay to ask for help, for therapy, for psychologists, for psychiatrists, for social workers, for family members, to help us work through our pain. And sometimes it's very, very difficult, but we hopefully can confront it face to face. We can emerge whole, and we can emerge with our own psyche intact and understand ourselves, what we need to do to change, and how we can confront that honestly and openly. I wish everybody Shabbat Shalom, and I hope everyone enjoys, and I hope it doesn't rain too much, and Shabbat Shalom, and all the best to everyone.